Was this episode filmed in like 2010?
I don't know. I do feel like we went back in time.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Drag Race, apparently, because we're not watching Untucked, and we sure as are not watching the Real Friends of House WeHo.
No.
Real House Friends of WeHo. I don't know. I'm still scattered.
Huh?
I knew it was. I knew it was coming, and yet I was still unprepared.
Yeah.
I know that they had shortened this season. I read that before it happened.
Like the runtime.
Yeah, but I just assumed that it would air after Drag Race, which I know technically Untucked is a separate, but that's diabolical.
It is. To have an hour-long show in between, I don't know. I don't like it.
And then to watch this, and then we're not supposed to be swearing in the first 15 seconds.
That was more than 15 seconds.
Regardless. And then we're going to watch Untucked after our brains have been flossed and bleached from an hour of WeHo? Am I going too hard? Am I going too hard? Let me know.
I was going to keep making scat porn jokes.
Well, you need the context if you're going to keep...
Go become a patron.
That's going to get us demonetized.
And you'll find out why I made that joke.
Drag Race fans, God something, love them, have been spamming the Real Friends of WeHo's social media posts with porn because they're mad about the shortened episodes.
Look, I get so tired when we're doing Drag Race, and especially because we're doing full reactions now for the Patreon as well. I'm tired. I don't need longer episodes, but like...
Okay, so here's the thing. This will help me get in.
Killing me.
This will help me get into the episode because I wanted to open up with this, but Drag Race used to be an hour. It used to be like, it comes out at like 48 minutes or 42 minutes, I think, with commercials and stuff. And then when it became more popular, they changed it to the hour and a half and then Untucked, so it was like a full 2-hour block of television.
I like that.
Yes, I do. And we even would complain that it was too long sometimes. Like they were really sort of like fishing for material.
Well, it was like, especially the ones where it's like they would really start padding out the end of Untucked. Like Rosé had like a 10-minute goodbye tour around the fucking like.
But here's my issue, and I really wanted to say this in case anyone out there doesn't know. I feel so strongly for this group of queens and the crew of this season because apparently MTV did not tell them they were doing this. So they filmed and edited the usual. And then MTV was like, oh, you have to cut it back.
Oh my God.
So they had to, my understanding is they had to recut every episode, which is why the edit is so choppy.
Okay.
And I just want to say that because that means that entire Queen's
like plot
arcs
lines
are being taken away. And so not only is that screen time, but it's also optics.
Yeah.
And like last week when Jax moved Sugar and we only ever got talking heads from Sugar. So it just keep in mind, of course it's a show. It's always a show. Never, ever, ever take that seriously, and we never do because like
no, of course, but it's like you at this point people I think are incidentally getting a villain edit when like it probably wasn't like that
it's
until
one
they
thing
started sharp cutting after they say something negative.
I mean, it's one thing to edit somebody a certain way, it's another thing to just completely omit.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like it.
But it's just sort of like we didn't particularly like Candy Muse on her season, but I love her. Like I follow her on Twitter. Like I think she's great. I think
she got a villain edit.
I think and so keep that in mind when watching the show, especially for the people of color and the heavier anyone who's not the standard Instagram look. It's very easy for people to not give those people the benefit of the doubt. So I feel very strange about it because I like the show. I'm passionate about the show, and I'm even not defensive of, but I frequently am an apologist for production because things happen. People have to make decisions and stuff, but that's some bullshit. I'm pissed.
Some tea. I'm pretty pissed about it. I think there's just the hour-long break in between Drag Race and Untucked is insane.
I mean, it might be great at the bar because we could watch the episode and then get hammered and talk amongst ourselves, and then watch and then sober up and drive home after.
I guess.
I don't know.
Is it worth it?
I don't know. Okay, this was Snatch Game. I don't know how I think it was a medium Snatch Game episode. Yeah. There was a lot to pick from. I think a handful of people did well. Most people I think were
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and I need to be able to look at it. Fucking the pit crew, Bruno and Calix. Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't always have those windows in those desks, do they? So that we're looking straight at their crotches and thighs.
I almost commented on it in our other. It's because it's the pit crew.
Okay,
you can see their little junk underneath.
We mean that. She means that endearingly.
Yes, like little boy butts. Like
no, I am right there with you. Did they seriously not show the entire panel?
Only from the wide sideways shot.
I hate everything that's happening.
We're not super happy. Yeah.
So we had Marsha as Tim Gunn. Mm-hmm. Very good, very straightforward.
Straightforward, Tim
very
Gunn,
straightforward.
Which I appreciated because I don't need like a lewd take on Tim Gunn, you know?
You also don't need somebody just banging themselves over the head with a mallet and then trying to eat it. You don't need that? Okay.
I don't need that.
We had Lux as Amanda Lepore. I want to give her credit for the makeup. I want to say, well, she got the makeup. However, the cheeks, it was, I don't know.
You could see it.
Yeah.
It didn't blend enough.
And I don't think the tits are big enough. They need to be bigger. I mean, she's wearing fake ones, but I don't know a ton about Amanda. I mean, I obviously know who she is because David LaChapelle, and she's like Angeline, and she's like an icon up there. But I don't know that I've ever really heard her talk, so I don't know.
That was, I think, my big thing with this round, both this season of Girls for Snatch Game, is like, I don't know who a lot of these people are. And part of that is me, because I also don't watch Housewives. I don't have like or even whoever the next one is too. Sassy something.
What was the name?
Right.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I just don't know who those people are. And there were a couple that did like made up thing, like Georgina Ramsey. Funny.
That alone, as long as she doesn't absolutely biff it, I think even just in concept that was enough for a safe.
Yeah. What was it? Material?
Saucy Santana?
Saucy. Yeah, Saucy Santana.
Yeah, I have no concept of Saucy Santana.
No, me neither.
She seemed committed.
Yeah, but they didn't cut to her. That's the thing too, is with the shorter runtime, none of them got enough time for jokes, except for the people who were like actively going after jokes, and which is like, I know that they probably did. You know that Rue got every one of them to answer, but we didn't see that, and so I feel like she didn't get enough time to talk. There were also a lot of men. They did like
kind of have dropped that a little bit. Well, I think it was more of a talking point earlier on.
I feel like it was last season. They were like, "Oh, you're doing a man." I don't remember who though.
I mean, we watched like 5 seasons of Drag Race. It was like season 7 when Kennedy Davenport did Little Richard, and they were like,
"Oh, yeah, okay, yeah."
Mistress Isabel was Rosie O'Donnell.
Pretty good.
I thought she looked Rosie. I think it's what they said. Once she said Abby Lee, it was giving me more Abby Lee than Rosie O'Donnell. It was like a combination.
Yeah.
But she was charming enough. Her energy was filling the room enough that I just sort of went with it. And I think Michelle kind of said the same thing in judging.
Yeah.
So she was good.
It worked.
The Georgina
Ramsey.
The impression was fine, but it was cute enough.
Well, I love that it was like Gordon Ramsay's like slightly posher sister
from Nevada, though.
From Nevada. I don't know. It worked for me. There was, in my opinion, maybe not enough of it, but it worked for me.
Robin Fierce was, I know it's Potomac. She's one of the housewives from Potomac, but I don't know. Because once they said housewives, I thought for a second she was Faye Resnick. That's what it was giving me. Karen Huger.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about her either.
No.
So it didn't work or not work for me, but she is dressed
she looks good, and she looks like what a
housewife.
A
Potomac housewife.
If Aurora Breyer Rose was a Potomac housewife. And then Selena Estides did Virgin Mary. It was good. It was
okay at the beginning, and then I didn't love the like giving birth part.
There's something about that position where I think they think if they're in that seat, they have to try and steal the show.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
And
do you know who did it? Jinx Monsoon.
I don't know.
Just as an FYI to any potential gay men watching, Kegels don't make the baby come out. Just so you know, for the future.
She was thinking on the fly. I think it was bold.
Yeah.
I think it was funny. I think maybe if that character were in a different production, because I think
like not Snatch Game, if like she was the Virgin Mary in a skit.
Yeah, and I mean I think it could have worked in Snatch Game if maybe some of the rest of them were edgier.
Sure.
But I think it was a pretty standard, pretty tame panel.
Yeah, because also, yeah, you're right, because horny Virgin Mary does not really suit. And then in addition to that, horny Virgin Mary who doesn't know she's pregnant.
It's a very funny character, but it
no, you're right, though. Nobody else was, like, over the top enough for that to
like, I think it would have gone really well with Alaska's Mae West. Why don't you come upstairs and fuck me in the ass sometime?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I think that if more people were doing more,
sure.
I think it would have worked. But it was sort of like a sore thumb where it was like, ooh.
I think that is sort of Selena Estity's sweet spot. too over the top for the rest of the group.
With this one, I would have to give it to Marsha and Mistress.
Yeah, double. Yeah.
So the first ones, obviously, it was Bruno and Calix. I mean, I'm a fan of all pit crew. I've got a soft spot for Calix.
He's very cute. He has a very sweet face. Yeah.
And I mean, we all talk about Bruno, but he's like comedically, yeah.
Like comically way too hot.
And Bryce is your favorite.
I love a ginger.
But also he has just this like...
Aw, shucks.
Yeah. Like, remember when last season in 14, when they had to pop the balloons? And he was kind of like...
Yeah. Yeah. Like a little bit like the sunscreen baby.
So we had Lucy LaDuca as Joan Rivers. Couldn't be more standard. Like, that was tired.
But I'm gonna compare it to Jinx's Judy Garland.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Like, that was tired and cliche in Vegas in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, but if you're gonna do it, then do it.
Out of the park.
Oldie but goodie. Yeah. And I mean, RuPaul likes what she likes.
She does like what she likes.
And she likes this. So she did a great job. Sasha Colby I cannot remember her name. I know who she is, though.
Jan Crouch?
Crouch.
Yeah.
She was a televangelist. She was in the Holy Land Experience.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. She was like, she died in Orlando.
Defunct Holy Land Experience.
Yeah. She was very kooky. To my understanding, I do not think she was like Tammy Faye, where she had sort of
an actual decency in the bottom of her heart.
I think. I don't know.
I don't know anything about her.
Let me know if she actually let me know. I think she's an ironic gay icon.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pretty inspired take from Jax, the Mona Lisa.
Because she was doing like Instagram picture of face. She was like doing stuff in the background. It was like pretty funny.
I liked it. I like Sugar's instinct to do Trisha Paytas, and from what I understand about Trisha, I more so know her from memes than I do YouTube. I've obviously heard her talk, because actually one of my favorite of her memes is when she's eating, I think it's like a chicken sandwich, and somebody's like talking to her, and she's like, huh? And she just goes, oh, and it was like me at lunch in 8th grade when the cool guys are trying to get my attention just to call me a fag. And it was like, so I really appreciate her instinct, but I could have been given 100 guesses and not guessed that that's what this was.
Because I feel like I've also only ever seen her like sobbing on her kitchen floor. And so like this polished version was not really, also she didn't lean into the baby she just had, which is like top of mind pop culture news and stuff. I don't know. There was not a lot of top of mind pop culture news in this. in this batch.
Well, but then there's Bretman Rock, who, again, I follow him on...
That's maybe too top of mind.
I follow him on Instagram, so I know what he is, but I don't know that I've ever heard him speak.
I know what he is.
Did I say that?
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
Oh, I know who he is. Amethyst did Tan Mom?
Yeah.
That was gauche, even when it was like...
Also, I think she died.
No, she didn't.
I feel like... I don't know. Whatever. I don't think it's nice to make fun of real people.
Okay. I cannot stress enough. They're all real people.
She's a regular person.
Oh, Trisha Paytas?
She's famous! Are you looking up Tan Mom?
No, I think she's alive.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Well, she still tans twice a week.
Yuck.
I will say, having said that, it wasn't a bad showing from Amethyst.
No,
it was like a decent characterization.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Spice was Miley Cyrus. Contrary to you, I was actually into it in the beginning, especially because she did like an older Miley Cyrus. Like
it was like a little too much, though.
That's what they do, apparently.
I don't like it. I
liked if her Miley Cyrus had 3 acts. I liked the first and second act. I didn't like the third act. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my lukewarm takes on Snatch Game.
I mean, very obviously.
Is Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy won this one, but I mean, I feel like Sasha was like. I just feel like I didn't get enough time. Like, I feel like there wasn't enough time with Sasha or Jax. And there was so much time spent on Sugar and Spice and Aura. And they were all bad. And it really made me feel bad.
How do you feel about this?
The Ru look? Well, it's different, which is nice. And I also kind of like the Tweety houndstooth. And the feathers were very, like you said, Parker Posey from Josie and the Pussycats.
It's nice.
I guess it's not really houndstooth. It is just like tweedy plaid. Yeah. I don't know. I just like, it's not my favorite, but it was something slightly different.
I'm still waiting for the one that legit. Oh God, Amandla Stenberg
she looks so good.
Amazing. And Michelle looked really good. I liked her thing, but Amandla, she's great. I'm so glad that she's actually like getting a thing.
Watch Bodies, and then watch our reaction to Bodies.
Then watch us watch Bodies. So that does take us into the runway, which was Scary Things?
Something about a nightmare. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful Nightmare.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
I get what they said at the end, that she needs to start dragging up her stuff, because it is sort of just like putting on a costume.
I'm underwhelmed for the prompt.
Yeah.
I would have really liked to have seen, like, because Marsha so far is really clinging to the character, the Marsha, and the kind of mid-century cutesy. And for me, this, I think, would have been her chance to do something kooky.
Yeah. Well, especially if she wanted to like lean into the dentist thing.
I mean, I guess we should just be glad that she wasn't Wednesday Addams, but
I mean, that would have been, I think they wouldn't have given her so much shit over that as they did with this.
Because it's a fine look, but it's just sort of like.
But again, if you want to go to the dentist angle, do like Steve Martin from Little Shop of Horrors or something, you know, like go like drag that up. And this is just like why, I guess it's like scrub color, but like why are you wearing teal leggings? Like,
I mean, I like kind of the claws. I don't know. It needed more. It needed more. This was great.
This was really good. I wonder if it's something that they edited out. I do think she should have been wearing gray tights to match her makeup on the top, because it looks like she's
only half dead.
What, your legs are not decaying when you've been drowned underwater by a cement brick, but
the rest of it,
the vibe is
the concept,
totally
execution,
there,
the performance,
very good.
Lux snuck up. Well, not really. I think I actually kind of
liked her
from the beginning.
One, This is a really cool thing. I dig this a lot. A lot. Yeah.
I like this a lot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and fits the prompt because the makeup is ghoulish, but
and
it's
the like
very
hair is pretty cool, and the feathers. I mean, like it's maybe like one of those like poisonous moths or caterpillars or something.
That's interesting.
Pretty cool. I dig it. Yeah.
I like Malaysia. I haven't quite spoken about her a lot. She's
there hasn't been a lot yet.
Yeah, it's not. I was gonna say it's not that I think she's flying under the radar, but I don't think she's quite getting the amount of kudos that I think she should. I really appreciate it.
All of her stuff's been great.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Is this a you don't actually swallow spiders speech?
No. Oh. I was going to make a joke and I couldn't decide if it was funny or mean, but I'll just go ahead and say it. That's never gone wrong. At the first, I genuinely thought she was the chandelier from Phantom of the Opera.
I wouldn't have. I mean, that's kind of nightmarish. Sure.
I was ooh, avant-garde. I don't know why.
Especially if in her talking head she told a story about how she went to go see Phantom of the Opera.
That was the first place my mind went, because it has a very particular
shape,
oval design. But
it does look great, and I see it. I dig it. Spiderwebs, love it. We did get a lot of spiders tonight. This one's not my favorite. It's good though. It's
good. Where it gets its oomph is the fingers. The makeup's really good, and then the like stinger, bustle. Yeah. But it's good. It's good. Which I like. Amanda's so pretty.
And
Amandla.
like that, whatever she's wearing is fantastic.
I like Anitra a lot. No, she's doing good. She's doing good. She's doing good.
I didn't. I don't like it. I get it. I don't like it.
I don't really have a.
It's hideous.
I don't know. Good.
It's fine.
Do I like it? I think it's
the makeup is fun.
Mm-hmm. It's good. I like that she was eating boobies.
Sure. This is my favorite spider.
Really?
I like the 50s silhouette.
Yeah, it's nice.
And the like collar and everything is fun.
I feel like, I don't know if I'm being too judgmental or maybe I'm too in my head or something, but I feel like I'm being very whelmed by these runways in ways that when I look back, like when I was editing last week's, I was like, it was Aura Maori's and I was like, it's fine. And like watching it back, I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. Why are you? So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm just sort of like aware that maybe I'm just in my head too much. I don't know. But
if only we could have watched Untucked right after.
Let some of this marinate. Yeah. Well, that's half of it though, is because usually they're in these costumes in Untucked, and they're
the lighting is better backstage. We have discussed this before.
The makeup and the hair, the wig is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of like. I almost wish I like because it's like fangs coming out of the titties, but they're sort of like this, and I almost wish they were just like.
Yeah.
Oh, you wish down?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. It's good. Again, I thought Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, I see that too.
This is really good. Though, yeah. It's really good.
The purple eye is like really
the
amazing.
Makeup.
Yeah. And the really overdrawn top lip is really fun too. Yeah, I think Lucy Lijica knocked it out tonight. She did good. This
bitch,
fantastic.
It's deceptive because when she first came out, I kind of thought, Sasha, that's not enough. And then the more I drank it in, I'm like, it's so good.
It's fantastic.
It's what I thought was simple, I now recognize as elegant.
Elegant, yeah.
And just you can see her body.
It's really.
And when she sort of clarified that she's like a broom, I don't know. The more time,
because the seaming up the back looks like the broomstick. It was
more
really
time
good.
I spent with it, the more I loved it. I just kind of bathed. The fingers are so good. Her performance too. She has
she has really good stage instincts and presence. Yeah, very good. Okay, this is sold for me entirely on the fact that she says I'm coming out Perseus first. I can't. So fucking funny. The rest of it is eh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why she's wearing a whole
like a shiny bodysuit.
That's like just enough off from her skin tone to be upsetting. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my favorite. Yeah, they both were.
It looks. I don't know.
It's like that girl you knew in 2005 that only shopped at Betsy Johnson. I feel like that's what
but
they
it looks
are.
like, but it's like cheap. It looks like Party City
or like Fredericks of Hollywood.
Like when the sexy costumes, like when corporate America got wise of the sexy costume trend and everything was just like Playboy this. And I think it's too close to what they're doing all the time.
I agree with that.
That I was sort of like, this was a chance for you to really do something outside of your box, outside of your wheelhouse.
I literally was like, oh, are you a scary doll?
But what's scary? The fact that she has some cracks drawn on her face? Because all I see is pink and, like, I see cotton candy right now.
She has one weird eye, too, but that's it.
I don't know.
Yeah, not good enough.
The makeup's good, but it's always good.
Yeah.
I don't get scared nightmare. I mean, I guess the prompt is beautiful nightmare, but I don't. But
it also wasn't, you're like you said, cotton candy. It wasn't even very beautiful. It was just garish. And I don't know what was she? I don't remember what she was.
They're both dolls.
But just a different kind of doll?
Made.
Yeah, it's like just not 100% there. I guess the black and white is a little scarier than the pink and blue, but meh.
And this is just a straightforward interpretation of... Was this episode filmed in, like, 2010?
I don't know. I do feel like we went back in time.
It's well done, one-for-one straight recreation of the 2009 VMAs.
Yeah.
And the thing is... Okay,
but it's also, like, in my opinion, one of Lady Gaga's most misguided moments. I don't like it. It upsets me.
Kristen does not speak on behalf of Will or Kristen. It is absolutely one of the greatest moments of modern pop culture. It's so good. You are incorrect.
That's fine.
I that took my breath away.
It upsets me.
As it was meant to.
That's why I don't like
it. Wow, you think you know someone. Holy shit. Your favorite albums, Joanne?
That's fine. I am not embarrassed by that. My favorite album is the self-titled Alley.
Okay, so I know that the prompts aren't always, like, what Ru says on the runway is not always what they're given.
Sure. Oh, yeah, this does not fit the prompt either.
Well, I was going to say, considering, like, it probably, like, the prompt was actually probably, like, spooky, but then they give it, like, Beautiful Nightmare.
Yeah.
That aside, considering that it was named Beautiful Nightmare and you're going to come out as a pop star from 2009 pop culture reference and it's not Beyonce's Sweet Dreams, Beautiful Nightmare. With the gold and the Illuminati, like...
Yeah.
Come on.
You're killing me.
And the Thierry Moulet, again, she looks great.
She's doing a solid Lady Gaga. It took me a second to even
recognize who it was.
This is actually my favorite look of the night.
Really?
I think it's fantastic.
It's very good. For me, it gives me a little bit too much too late or too little too late. That's
fine.
Because she's fading a little bit. I like her, but she's fading a little bit.
No, I vibe with that for sure. I just think this is the coolest look for me of the night. Like that's...
Well, it's...
That's a beautiful nightmare.
Yeah. And it is sort of its own concept.
Yeah. I dig it. I think it's cool.
Like, it's not one where I'm like, oh, this
again.
And this standard. Yeah. I like the orange wig.
Mm-hmm. I think that was an interesting choice, but I like it as well.
I really like Aura's performance. She's
good on the runway.
Commented, yeah. Mm-hmm. I probably am going Sasha.
Yeah, it was really good. It's a toss-up for me.
Probably Sasha and Lux.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucy was good too. Yeah. So the twins lip sync against each other. Yeah. I knew it was coming. Also, if you want to watch another plug for our watch along, you can watch me in real time process what that actually means, because you're like, oh no, I'm like, yeah, of course they're gonna make them lip sync against each other, but then I was like, oh no, that means one of them's going home. I didn't work that all the way through.
No.
I'm a little surprised.
I'm a little surprised it was so early.
Yeah, mostly just from a show production gimmick standpoint. Their performances have been fine, have been good. But yeah,
if I'm being honest, I do think so far from what I've seen, although the previews for next week, I do think Spice has a little bit more what it takes to be in a competition show like this. Because, like, Sugar was off the rails last week with the acting challenge and, like, being annoying and everything.
Well, Spice was also Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it.
So, okay. That was our...
who won? Lucy LaDuca won, and Sugar went home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they lip synced to Pat Benatar. Love Pat Benatar.
I was just going to say that was our brain dump.
Yeah.
Processing.
Mm-hmm. We were still pretty heated about the Friends of WeHo nonsense.
So, all right. Did you watch The Real Friends of WeHo? Let us know what it was like.
I don't care.
Please like and subscribe and all that stuff. And hopefully we'll see you back next week. And bye.
Bye.
Turn the lights out.